Have you ever noticed something strange about Thailand? I'm not talking about the beaches, I'm not talking about the food, the temples, the nightlife or any of the usual stuff you see. I'm talking about a feeling. It's something almost every foreigner notices within a few weeks of landing in Thailand. You walk around at night, down a dark alley, and you feel totally safe. You can leave your phone on a restaurant table, and half the time, someone runs down the street to give it back to you. You see young kids walking home from school on their own. You see elderly people sitting outside shops past midnight. You see market vendors just walk away from their stalls, leaving their stock completely unattended. And after a while, you start asking yourself, how is this possible? Because if you take a look at Western media, Thailand shouldn't feel safer than places like Britain, America, Canada, or Australia. Those Western countries are richer, they have stronger institutions, they have way more police on the streets and massive budgets. And yet, millions of tourists and expats come to Thailand every year and immediately say the exact same thing. I just feel safer here. Now, before the comment section explodes, let's get one thing straight. This video isn't about crime statistics. The moment you bring up spreadsheets online, people start throwing data at each other like angry accountants. This is about something much deeper. It's about why Thailand feels the way it does, because feeling safe and being statistically safe aren't always the same thing. And honestly, the answer is a bit uncomfortable, because the truth might be that Thailand managed to solve a massive social problem, one that the West accidentally created for itself. So I think the first piece of the puzzle is community, and this is where the West has changed drastically over the last few decades. If you was to ask your grandparents what their street was like growing up, they'll tell you they knew everyone. They knew who lived 3 doors down. They knew who owned which dog, who was struggling, and who was causing trouble. But today, in a lot of Western cities, you can live next door to someone for 10 years and barely say 2 words to them. Everybody's isolated. Everyone's individualized. We are all living in our own private bubbles. Now, Thailand has bubbles too, but they are much, much larger, especially once you get outside the tourist hotspots. In a typical Thai neighborhood or village, everybody knows everybody. They know your parents, your grandparents, what business your family runs, and exactly what you've been up to. Now, to a lot of Westerners, that sounds like a total nightmare. And look, sometimes it can be. Privacy becomes a bit of a luxury, but community comes with a massive hidden benefit. People behave differently when they know they're part of something bigger than themselves. When your actions directly affect your family's reputation and your neighbours' opinions of you, you think twice before doing something stupid. The West spent decades celebrating individual freedom. Thailand kept its community structure intact. Both have their perks, but only one of them creates constant, built-in social supervision. Now, one thing that shocked me when I first spent time in Thailand was how little actually goes unnoticed. You think nobody's watching you. Trust me, someone is always watching you. The village shop owner knows. The neighbour knows. The auntie sitting across the road definitely knows. And if she doesn't know yet, she'll find out by tomorrow morning. Now, people laugh about village gossip, but it actually serves a massive purpose. It acts like an informal security system. People don't behave themselves because they're terrified of prison. They do it because they're terrified of the local social consequences. In the West, we have built a system where we rely entirely on official institutions to keep order. The police, the courts, government agencies. Thailand still relies heavily on unofficial social controls, and those controls are incredibly powerful. People modify their behaviour simply because they don't want to be the talking point at the local market the next day. Now again, it's not always perfect. It can feel intrusive and sometimes unfair, but there's no denying that it keeps people in check. Now, this next point makes a lot of Westerners really uncomfortable because shame has become a dirty word in modern Western culture. We're told that shame is toxic, that nobody should ever feel it, and that everyone should just be themselves without filter. But the truth is, every society uses shame. The only difference is what behaviour gets shamed. Thailand still places a massive premium on public image, what they call face, reputation, and respectability. The fear of public embarrassment here is an incredibly powerful force. Honestly, it's often stronger than the law. Now, there is actually a specific concept for this in Thailand called Greng Jai. Now, it's hard to translate perfectly, but it basically means an extreme consideration for others. It's the desire completely to avoid bothering, upsetting, or causing discomfort to the people around you. And because of Greng Jai, people go out of their way to avoid conflict. They don't want to cause a scene because it completely destroys their image and makes their family lose face. Western cultures have spent years stripping away social shame to maximize personal freedom. But when you remove those guardrails, people stop caring about how their actions affect the wider community. And Thailand never tore those guardrails down. And whether you like it or not, it completely changes how a society functions. Now this brings us to another highly controversial topic: hierarchy. Most Western societies have spent decades trying to flatten hierarchy. We believe everyone is equal, everyone should challenge authority, and everyone should speak their mind. And let's be real, there are huge, life-changing benefits to that. But hierarchy also creates order. Thailand is a highly hierarchical society. Age matters, position matters, family roles matter. Teachers and elders still receive an immense amount of respect. And as foreigners, our knee-jerk reaction is to look at this and label it as outdated or oppressive. But hierarchy creates predictability. People generally know what's expected of them. They know the boundaries. And when everyone knows the boundaries, day-to-day social friction drastically decreases. Now it doesn't disappear, but it smooths out the edges of daily life. So, has Thailand created a perfect utopia? Obviously not. No country has. Thailand has its own massive set of issues. Corruption is real, crime happens, and injustice exists. Human beings are still human beings no matter where you go. But what Thailand does is highlight something that a lot of Western countries completely forgot. Freedom and social cohesion are a trade-off. You can maximize individual freedom, you can champion total independence, and you can encourage everyone to live exactly how they want with zero social pressure. But eventually, you pay a price for that. Somewhere along the line, the West weakened the very community structures that used to hold society together. Now, Thailand didn't dismantle those structures. They kept family, community, reputation, and informal social pressure at the centre of life. The result? A society that often feels remarkably safe and peaceful, even if the people living in it can't quite articulate why. Thailand didn't solve crime, and they didn't solve human nature. They just didn't tear down the walls that the West spent the last 50 years destroying. And whether you think that's a strength or a weakness probably depends entirely on which side of the world you call home.
Fresh red pepper. So some people do red pepper, yeah.
So we can arrange it. Bacon glaze, yeah.
Yeah, bacon gravy is good too, yeah.
Bacon mixed gravy. We always had a can with a bacon grease.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
そっかそっかそっか。もったいないもんね。
So.
ああ、素晴らしい。
And also, if you put it like in Japan, some of my friends in Tokyo, shiranai, so they put oil in the sink.
Okay.
But it's yabai because the suido,
うん。
it clogs it. It's super, super bad.
そうだね。うん。そうだね、そうだね。There was mushroom ketchup back